This is a fair warning to the U.S. citizens. If you're in Mexico, it's time for you to get your ass out of Mexico. And if any U.S. citizens planning on visiting Mexico, you don't need to be going nowhere near Mexico. The cartel in Mexico has left a direct, chilling message.
Yes, they're coming for you, Americans.
Hello guys, welcome and welcome back again to Vibe Reacts. For those who have subscribed, thank you so much. And if you haven't subscribed, please go like, share and subscribe to the channel. Now today we are going to talk about Mexican people have decided, you know what, it's time that you American people should pack your bags and leave our country for good. You know, they've decided enough is enough. You can't make our lives to be miserable. Why are we locals, why we people of Mexican cannot afford a living? Why can't we afford our house rent? So they're like, if you guys don't go, we'll make you leave. They even started drawing signs of gravity on the walls that you guys should leave our country alone. If let's say we want to eat, we cannot do it because things are super expensive. Guys, let me tell you, a dollar is stronger than pesos, their money. So they were like, guys, no, you should go back to your country. There's this dangerous group in Mexico. It's called the cartels. They have started like, you guys, if you don't go back home, we'll give you a lesson. Yeah, so guys, let's quickly watch the video and then come back and tell me if it is better to just stay in your country or you'll continue loitering in other people's country.
So Mexico is burning, but this time the flames aren't coming from cartel violence or election chaos. They're coming from everyday citizens fed up with foreigners, and they're marching through the streets of Mexico City screaming, "Gringos, go home." Storefronts have been smashed, walls tagged with death threats, Americans hunted down by angry locals who say they've had enough.
If you or your loved ones are going to be traveling to Mexico in the next few months, or even next year, just know that the cartels have put a warning out. They put a huge banner out. In that banner, they name Kash Patel, the FBI director, and they state that they're being hurt because too many of their shipments are being stopped, that they're threatening to hurt American tourists, to retaliate for what's going on with all their drug shipments not being able to get through. If you're going, or your kids, or somebody you know, send this to them. It's been confirmed. It's all over Mexican media. Soon you'll start seeing here on American media. I usually get a little bit ahead of what's going on because I'm paying attention to other media in other countries. They're already talking about it. They're already discussing it. And it's legitimate. It's a legitimate threat. They're saying stay out of places like Cancun, Playa del Carmen, even Tijuana.
Imagine if I went to Africa and I wanted to live there, right? And all of a sudden, Africa wanted to deport me back to my homeland, the United States of America. And imagine if I went and I protested against Africa and I was lifting a United States of America flag in protest, saying I wanted to stay in Africa, but waving this flag from another country. How crazy would that look? How crazy would that be? That's exactly what's happening with people that are protesting right now in the United States. They're lifting up flags from different countries in protest of being deported back to those countries. Think about that. How wild is that? If you love that country so much, why don't you go back over there? But let's be really honest. Instead of you sitting there lifting up that flag from another country, why don't you lift up the flag from the United States of America and say, hey, I want to stay here. I love this country. I appreciate this country. It's a blessing to live here. I don't want to go back to any other country. And you wonder why patriots and United States citizens like myself are fed up seeing this stuff. Because you're ungrateful. You don't appreciate the blessing it is to live in the United States of America. If you did, you wouldn't lift a flag of a foreign country that didn't do nothing for you.
This is a fair warning to the U.S. citizens. If you're in Mexico, it's time for you to get your ass out of Mexico. And if any U.S. citizens planning on visiting Mexico, you don't need to be going nowhere near Mexico. The cartel in Mexico has left a direct, chilling message. They will start killing American citizens on their territory starting this month. Before I go on, I need y'all to share this so everybody can get this message. So this is a direct retaliation for the U.S. seizing their labs and arresting their soldiers. This is not a threat. This is a promise. They will begin eliminating every American citizen that's in Mexico or trying to come to Mexico. Do whatever you want to do with this information.
People have been traveling to Mexico all in the name of, in Mexico there's peace, life is cheaper compared to life in US. Also in Mexico it feels more free than being in America. But what happened to those houses that belonged to those local families in Mexico are now being rented to these American people? Mind you, it's triple the price. The cafes, the schools, the health facilities, they have also started to raise their prices because why not? Why not? And $1 is strong enough than the pesos. And what really happens to these local people who are living in their country very comfortably before these American people landed into their country? Of course, they'll start struggling because if they cannot even afford their rent, you can imagine. And other people, okay, some Americans come to Mexico for vacation, for tourism, but there are other people who have come to buy the lands over there, their properties. It's like, yo guys, we are here to stay. So that thing is really making these Mexicans to be so mad. Especially, they're so mad with these people, their leaders, who are accepting such kind of thing, because they should regulate tourism and set stricter, housing laws, because it's not fair, because these people are coming and they're not living. They can no longer live their lives like they used to. It's like they're trying to colonize their beaches and their public areas. Now you see, these people, they went to the streets and they started to protest. Enough is enough. These people should go back to their country. Others even went ahead and started doing gravities on the walls, sending them signals like, if you guys won't get out of our country, then there's no peace for you people. They even went ahead and started to confront them like, why you guys here? Don't you feel like you're taking over our beaches? Also there's this dangerous group known as the cartels. They also sent a warning. If you guys don't leave, it's up to you. Now the Americans started to fear, and most of them, they packed their bags and they came back, most especially those that went for vacation. Obviously they were deported back to America, and those ones who are still left being searched thoroughly if they have the visas, the proper documentation for you to be in people's country, guys. This was so shocking to Americans. Why? Because they thought they were bringing money, businesses, and also tourism to the country, which is good. But also, you also see that you can't be in people's country, and then it's like you guys are taking over. Because the moment these local people, they can't afford, what does that really mean, guys? Yeah, let me know in the comment section if these Mexicans, they did the right thing to deport these Americans back home, or it was such a bad thing, guys. Let me know in the comment section. Thank you so much for tuning into Vibe Reacts, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much. One love.